2026 F1's engine revolution. As the very entertaining 2025 season proceeds, we're going to get more and more information on these 26 engines and really where the teams stack up. Plenty of very reliable news sources have came out and gave us a lot of information on the 5 teams and where they currently stack up, at least right now, in the progress they're making in these very different engines. There has also recently been a vote on trying to change the regulations and not have it be a 50-50 split, which tells us a lot about where the teams are struggling at. And there's already been a simulator test showing even more problems with the regulation period coming. But right before I get into all of that, I wanted to thank you guys for support. We're on the road to 100K, which just means the world to me. If you're new here and want to help me out, then go ahead and subscribe. It would mean a lot, and would be crazy if we can achieve it before the summer break. But let's talk about the 5 teams, where they stack up, and what we've heard. What are the newest updates on really this new engine revolution we're about to have? I wanted to start with the favorites. Mercedes is the name on everybody's lips. Reports from AMUS, Sky Sports, and multiple others have said they're leading the pack in developing the 2026 engines. Obviously, with the experience they've had in the turbo hybrid era from 2014 onwards, and while they have lost the head guy that did help them big time, they've retained a lot of that powertrain team, and they know how to build a very strong power unit. Carlos Sainz has already been cited saying a key reason as to why he joined Williams was because of the Mercedes engine's progress for 2026. I'm assuming he also got to see the progress that Audi was making, and he saw what Ferrari was doing as well, so he has a good idea of where these engines stack up, even if it was about 7 or 8 months ago. It's not all been smooth sailing. Mercedes recently had a simulator test at Monza for these new regs, where the actual engine ran out of electric power mid-straight, leaving just 540 to 570 horsepower from the ICE, less than an actual Formula 2 car. There's been plenty of stuff being already talked about this, solutions to fix this, and Toto Wolff recently has came out and called proposals to tweak the 50-50 split a complete joke, showing they have a lot of confidence in the current rules and also highlighting battery depletion issue that's really plaguing all manufacturers. It's not just Mercedes. Every team has a problem going down these straights, which is where we're going to see the majority of these issues for these engines. A team we didn't have much information on, but now we're getting much more on, is the dark horse Aston Martin. It's weird to call them the dark horse right now, but considering everything we've heard about Mercedes really being ahead, it would be weird to see another team really come out in these regulations. And while it is still all talk, we do know that these rumors end up coming true, especially from the sources they're being reported from. And Honda is definitely shaping up to be a serious contender. They've obviously won plenty of championships now with Red Bull, have very good experience in the previous regulation of engines, and the early signs are very promising. Honda's president Koji Watanabe told Planet F1 they're making smooth progress, and their collaboration with design legend, obviously Adrian Newey, could be the game changer to take Aston up to the top. AMUS has also came out and reported that Honda is the closest rival with competitive simulations. Now, just like Mercedes, it hasn't been all smooth. Watanabe even admitted to Planet F1 that mastering these rules is a struggle, but they're very committed to all in on the sustainability. And just like Mercedes, they're also facing that same battery depletion concerns, especially on the power-hungry tracks like Monza and Baku. But very promising signs from Aston Martin, who's having a terrible 2025 season that I probably think they're not going to turn around, considering it's a lot of mechanical and aerodynamic issues. But they got the most decorated Formula 1 aerodynamicist, Adrian Newey, working on their car, and a multiple champion winning Honda power unit team. So Aston definitely has a big chance at performing extremely well in this regulation period. Another team that's been very quiet, but now we have a lot more reports that are quite concerning, is Ferrari. They've been very good in any engine regulation period. They don't always start off on top, but they end up getting there towards the end. And sometimes they make a couple of mistakes, like we saw previously in 2019, where they got halted back because their engine was too strong and they weren't really following the regulations at that time. AMUS has also claimed that Ferrari is behind on schedule with their 2026 engine, alongside another team, Red Bull. This is a bit of a surprise, and Ferrari, just like Red Bull, these two teams kind of have the same thinking right now, is open to tweaking the power split to favor the ICE, suggesting they're worried about their electric performance. Even Vasseur has came out calling for a compromise to avoid infighting, hinting at possible internal concerns. And if Ferrari can't match Mercedes or Honda, they could lose a lot of ground in 2026. But as I stated before, I think history shows that they bounce back pretty quickly. They never start towards the top. They kind of did in 2022, to be honest. But they've always been pretty good at making a good power unit, so I wouldn't think too much about this, as there's still a lot of time to see what Ferrari can produce. Now, I've already mentioned them a bit, but Red Bull is definitely taking a massive gamble by building that in-house engine with Ford. And Christian Horner, of all the team principals, has been very vocal on the 50-50 split not being good for the sport. He does claim that they're right on track with these 2026 engine regulations, but AMUS reported that they're lagging behind Mercedes and Honda, so we'll have to see, because Helmut Marko actually came out and said they're only 6 horsepower behind Mercedes, so I wonder where he's getting these numbers and where he heard Mercedes is on their horsepower for their power unit, because it's quite interesting hearing that he knows the exact number. He also said the electric side is just down by 5 kilowatts. If this is really true, then they're closer than what's being really talked about by the other reporters. But considering they're pretty open to changing the rules, I don't know how confident Red Bull is going into this regulation period. Now, the struggling newcomer Audi, it's been talked about plenty, just like for Mercedes being the top dog. It's been talked about in the same way that Audi is lagging behind all of its competitors. AMUS has also confirmed that Audi is missing performance targets, and their firm opposition to changing the hybrid heavy rules alongside Honda shows they're invested in the current formula even if they are behind. They're very committed to sustainability. It's actually what's brought them into Formula One, and it will keep them around. But I wonder for how long, considering Cadillac is making a 2029 engine, where there's a lot of talks that this new regulation period of these 26 engines could change by 2029. Now, we've heard talks of V10s, V8s possibly as well with sustainable fuel, and it seems like the battery depletion of this 50-50 split is really putting a toll on teams and us outsiders as well, who's hearing really only negative things about these engines. We have a bit of a pecking order here with Mercedes in first, Honda in second, Ferrari and Red Bull really scratching at third and fourth, and I would say Audi right now is behind if we go off of what these very reputable sources are saying and what they have seen. As I stated before, there was a discussion for a 60-40 split, but Mercedes, Honda, and Audi have all resisted to the split, while Ferrari was open and Red Bull was definitely for it. That would be a big change to make considering we're so close to getting these new engines. And there will be 9 days of testing, and even before that, plenty with the FIA seeing what they can do to resolve this problem of energy depletion going down these huge, power-hungry tracks. I think 2026 could be very controversial. We still gotta hold back and see how it's gonna perform. These are gonna be much lighter cars. They're gonna be also smaller, which are all good things. They look quite aggressive, and they're really not losing that much time. It's more so, can the engine keep up with how strong these cars are? I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you guys think of all the reports coming out and really what the sources are saying? Do you believe the hype of Mercedes? Do you really think Audi is falling behind like they're saying? But I tend to believe that these are all pretty true, and we'll have to see if it comes true very, very soon. Please leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Please leave a like, subscribe. It would mean the world, and peace.